up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and I'm back with a whole new video. And as you can see, I'm in a whole new different spot of my house, and that is mostly because it's raining outside, it's dreary, and the light in my room isn't that great because there's no sun out. So I decided, why not film in the office of my house? Anyway, for this video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 struggles that all us anime fans basically have to go through. I have them written on my phone right here, so if I look down, it's because I have the list right here and I want to remember which ones I actually want to talk about. So for this one, number 1, trying to teach your family and friends about anime. We've all struggled with this. Whether it's telling your parents that it's not exactly always for kids while trying to get your friends engrossed in your favorite show. It never fails that you always have to teach them about anime. Usually, most of the anime that your parents or your friends might know is always Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, or Sailor Moon. And yes, those shows are wonderful shows that we all grew up with as kids, but we also have to show our friends there's more to anime than just those. Sometimes they go along with it, but sometimes it just doesn't work, which is always still a struggle. Number 2 is going to have to be having an anime or a manga end on a cliffhanger and you don't know when it's going to continue, or if there's going to be a second season, or having an anime in and there is no second season. We've all had this happen with all of our shows. For example, you have the manga and the anime High School of the Dead. So many of us have watched it, so many of us have read the manga, but yet there still is no ending, and that manga and the anime have been on hiatus for years. Many of us at this point have kind of given up hope that there's ever going to be a second season or a continuation of the manga, but we still hold out hope anyway. Not only that, but you also have shows like Fruits Basket that doesn't have a second season, but thankfully we have the manga for us to actually find out what actually happened. But still, if you're a fan of the show, you still wish and hope there was a second season, but once again, we all know it's been so long that there probably won't be one. Then we have number 3, which is choosing a new show or manga after the current show you're watching is now over. We've all gone through this. I know I have, I know you have. We watch a show, we get so invested in it, 24 episodes, 13 episodes, 12 episodes, and then it's over. And then we're like, well, what do we watch next? And I know many of us, we all have those lists of shows that we're planning to watch on either myanimelist.net or it's on our phones. And usually we look at that list and we go, I should watch these shows, but I'm not in the mood. So you end up trying to find something that's not on your list to actually watch. So usually it means that you end up scouring the internet for shows to watch by either going onto myanimelist.net message boards where people are like, recommend me an anime. Or you look and you post your own posts about what people can recommend you. I at one point even went so far as going onto Yahoo Answers to see what people have recommended. And here's a new one. I actually used to go on YouTube where people would make anime AMVs of like their top 10 like love characters, their top 10 shoujo anime, their top 10 shonen anime, and go through the list that they put on there and see which ones I haven't seen and decide from there what to watch. But now with things like Twitter and Instagram, you can find a new show fairly quickly, but still, it can still make it very difficult. Number 4, having to decide which anime convention to attend. I know I've gone through this because there's conventions literally probably every weekend somewhere in the United States, but sometimes you have to choose one con to attend because a lot of cons are kind of expensive. I mean, first you have your tickets you have to buy, then you have the hotel room, then you have food, then you also have transportation, which can kind of get expensive. I mean, I usually try and go to at least 2 cons a year, maybe 3, but for the past few years, I've only gone to like maybe 1, depending on the con. And usually you have to decide based not just on location, but also on who's gonna be there. I mean, let's be real. A lot of us like to go to see what guests they can actually get to show up. Not only that, a lot of us decide based off of, was the con good last year? I mean, for me, I like going to anime, but I also like attending other cons as well. So that's kind of what throws it up into the air for me. But let's be real, a majority of the time is usually the price of those tickets. Number 5, having to wait a week to watch a new episode. Now this is for you guys who like to watch your anime seasonally. So you watch a show that's coming out during the winter and you watch the new episode each week. This can be frustrating if the episode ends on a cliffhanger and you have to wait an entire week to finally watch it. I myself I'm more of a binge watcher, so I don't always have to go through this. But when I did watch seasonal anime, especially if I was making a podcast about it the next following week, or if I was following the show episode by episode, I hated this. I used to deplore it, which is why I mostly binge watch now. Number 6, which is binge watching a show and not knowing what to do after you finish watching it. Yep. This has happened to all of us. Maybe not even just with anime, but just with shows in general. But once you binge watch a show and you get to the 12, 13 episodes and you're like, what do I do now? I spent this entire 12 hours watching this entire show and now I have no idea what to do with my life. Well, usually at that point you kind of pick yourself up and you watch another show. Number 7, wanting to buy a lot of anime merchandise, but not having any money. There's anime merchandise everywhere, especially when you go to a convention, not to mention when you go online to like websites like Right Stuff or Funimation.com or even Crunchyroll. They all have their own anime merchandise that they sell, and we all want to represent our favorite fandoms, whether it's Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Attack on Titan, the list goes on and on. We all want to represent our favorite animes, but it's always not that easy. Let's be honest. How many times have you gone to a convention and you found a sweatshirt that you wanted or a shirt that you wanted and it's ridiculously expensive? And you're like, I just don't have the money. I mean, half the time when you go to cons, you bring a whole bunch of money with you because you're usually going to spend a lot of your time in the gallery or in the merchandise area buying up everything you can find. Because when's the next time you're going to be at one place where there's so many different vendors selling everything that you want? But once again, and money always becomes an issue. Number 8, choosing 1 or 2 anime subscriptions. This is difficult. Now, there's so many anime subscriptions out nowadays. You have Crunchyroll, you have Funimation, Hulu, Netflix, and you have Amazon Prime. That's 5 different anime streaming sites that you can use nowadays. But they all cost the money. Now, with Netflix and Hulu, you can kind of get away with it if your entire family's watching it. And same for Amazon Prime if your family already uses Amazon Prime. When you have Crunchyroll and you have Funimation, that's strictly for someone who's an anime fan. So usually it's only you that's using it. And if you're someone who doesn't have your own bank account, or if you're still living at home with your parents and you're under the age of 18, you probably have to talk to your parents about it and see if they're allowed to use their credit card to use that for the $6 or $7 to actually pay for this subscription site. So you usually only end up having to choose one of them, and it's kind of trying to decide which one can you choose. I use a majority of all these sites, but I'm also, able to pay for it all, but still, it can get difficult if you aren't able to pay for it and having to choose. But thankfully, they do have things like on demand if you have cable to be able to watch your favorite anime shows there. Number 9, which is having to decide what your favorite anime is. I've always gotten stuck on this question. Whenever people are like, hey, what's your favorite anime? It changes all the time. I usually go for my favorite, or not only my favorite, but I usually go for my go-to one, which is Sailor Moon, because everyone loves Sailor Moon, and a lot of people have watched it. But many people are like, I can probably give you my top 10 or my top 5. But having to choose one can be so difficult. And even then, when you choose a top 5 or a top 10, you might later on hear someone mention a show that they love, and you're like, oh man, I love that show. And then you're like, dang, I want to add that into my top 10, but I probably have to make it 11 now because I don't want to get rid of the ones I've already said. This always happens to me. Does it happen to you guys? And finally, we have number 10, which is having to deal with the elitist anime fans. We all have to deal with them, whether you're an elitist anime fan yourself or whether you're someone that has or someone whose friend is one. We all deal with them. Nothing ever makes them happy. They're always just like, you haven't seen this anime? Oh, well, you're not a true anime fan then. Or, hey, that anime was so different from the manga. It happens. Trust me. I mean, how many of you guys have read a book and then watched the movie and the movie's so different from the book? Stuff like that has to happen with the director and trying to cut stuff out that really doesn't make any sense or just moves the story along. It happens. Chill. So if you're an anime elitist, I mean chill. We're all fans, no matter how many shows we've seen or haven't seen, or how many mangas we've read or haven't read. Or even if you're someone that enjoys a dubbed anime over a sub. I mean, I'll be honest, I like my subbed anime, but I'll watch a dub any day. Mostly because, like I mentioned before, I'm lazy. So a lot of times, I have anime on in the background while I'm doing something else, and I'd rather not have to look up every 10 seconds to try and read what's going on when I can listen to it and still know what's going on. But that's my top 10 struggles that all us anime fans go through. Did you relate? Or did only a couple of them stick out for you? Would you like a part 2 of this series? Because I'm sure there's other struggles that all of us anime fans have gone through. Comment down below on a struggle that you've had while being an anime fan. Comment down below and let me know. Like always, I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so check those out as well. And I will have a new video out for you guys soon. Not only that, but be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, because, well, why not? If you're watching this video, why not subscribe so you know when I come out with new videos? And to do that, click the bell icon down below so that you're notified when I come out with new videos. And like always, I'll leave links down below to all my social media accounts. My Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog. Alright, you guys. Bye!